He looked sick. Not the kind of sick that makes you cough or tremble, the kind that hollows you out from the inside, quietly, efficiently. His skin had gone pale, almost translucent. He barely ate. Nights were worse, cold sweat, muttering, eyes darting at shadows that weren't there. I told him we should see a doctor. He agreed too quickly. That's what unsettled me first. At the clinic, he sat beside me, hands folded neatly on his lap. When the nurse called his name, he smiled, a strained, unnatural thing, and squeezed my hand. "Stay," he said. "It'll be quick." It wasn't. After 20 minutes, the nurse returned, face tight. "Mrs. Halloway, could you come with me? The doctor needs to speak to you." She led me down a different hallway. Too quiet, too sterile. The doctor was waiting, Dr. Price, an older man with kind eyes. He closed the door behind us, then leaned close enough that I felt his breath on my cheek. "Run," he whispered, "run now." Because 3 years ago, he killed his last wife. The world tilted. I don't remember leaving the office. I remember the sound of my pulse in my ears, my breath shaking, my legs refusing to obey. The words kept replaying, 3 years ago, killed his last wife. When I reached the police station, my voice trembled, but my mind, oddly, didn't. The officer's eyes sharpened when I said his name. "Michael Halloway," I managed. They exchanged glances. They already knew him. We met 7 years ago at a charity gala. He was charming then, an architect with a laugh that filled a room. He made me feel chosen, as if I were the only one who saw the gentle side behind the brilliance. He brought me coffee every morning, tucked handwritten notes in my coat pocket, remembered the smallest things. Love makes you blind. Or maybe it makes you see only what you want to. He told me his first wife died in a boating accident. He said it like a confession, eyes down, voice heavy with guilt. I remember touching his hand and whispering, "You couldn't have known." He looked at me then with a strange, searching expression. Now I know what that look meant. He was measuring me. After the doctor's warning, I didn't go home. The police asked me to stay away, to keep him unaware. But I couldn't sit idle. Fear turned sharp inside me, like glass under the skin. I started digging. Every detail unraveled a new lie. His first wife's name wasn't listed on any accident reports. The boat never existed. Her family had filed a missing person report, closed months later with no explanation. And there was another woman, 2 years before me, disappeared after moving across state lines. Her landlord remembered a Mr. Halloway. I didn't confront him, not yet. I smiled when he called. I pretended nothing had changed. Because fear is a weapon when you learn how to use it. He thought I was still his wife. I became his student instead. I watched him lie, calculating the rhythm of his voice, the way he manipulated sympathy. He liked control, silence, the illusion of love. So I gave it all to him, until I didn't. I opened a new account, moved money in tiny amounts, recorded his calls, collected every receipt, every odd chemical he bought for work. I traced his storage unit, his unlisted property. And there it was, his masterpiece, a cabin by the lake, hidden behind false ownership. The smell of bleach and rot when the door creaked open. Inside, fragments of a life that wasn't mine. Women's clothes, jewelry, photographs. One of them smiled like me. I turned the evidence over to the police. They told me to stay put, but I wanted to see his face when the ground gave way beneath him. That night, he came home with flowers. "You're quiet," he said, kissing my forehead. "What's wrong?" "Nothing," I lied. "Dinner's almost ready." He smiled, relieved, smug, sat at the table, ate every bite. When the sirens wailed down the street, his fork froze mid-air. Then he looked at me. The realization hit him slow, like poison taking effect. "You," he whispered. "Yes," I said. The knock came hard, commanding. He didn't move. His hand trembled on the table. For the first time, I saw fear in him, the kind that gnaws at men who think they'll never be caught. When they took him away, I didn't cry. I stood at the window, watching the blue lights fade into the distance. The detective later told me he confessed, not out of guilt, but pride. He wanted credit for how perfect his methods were. He said he'd picked women who'd never run. He miscalculated. I still visit Dr. Price sometimes. He always asks how I'm doing, if I've found peace. I tell him peace isn't something you find, it's something you build on the ashes. Sometimes I think about Michael, his hollow face, his last look before they closed the door on him. He used to say love was about trust. He was right. That's how I killed him, by making him trust me long enough to destroy him.